Hello. Right now, I'm going to talk about abortion. It's a very divisive issue. It's an issue that tears us apart, but it's an issue that's very important to me. Um, I know, um, I know that this might get me some flack from those on the left, just like I get flack on the right when I talk about how conservative fiscal policy, the Ayn Rand, Milton Friedman model, goes against Christianity as well. And I believe you can't be Christian and support those type of things. You can't support policies that hurt the poor, hurt the disenfranchised. You can't support abortion and be a follower of Christ as well. And I know that, first, a little bit about myself. For those who haven't watched my videos, I was born again 2 years ago. Um, Before that, I was more fiscally conservative and more socially liberal. I did not like abortion, but I thought it was a woman's right to do with her body that she's fit, and that the government had no place telling a woman what to do. And the thing is, I mean, since then, I believe life is a precious gift, and I believe life begins at conception, and I believe that all the blueprints are put in. I'm just going to quote one quote by Kathy Ireland on Bill Maher's television show Politically Correct. A moment after conception, the genetic blueprint is complete. We have our blood type or fingerprints, the sex determined at the moment of conception. We know it is life. What kind of life is it? According to the laws of biogenesis, all life comes from pre-existing life. Each species reproduces after its own kind, so human beings can only reproduce other human beings. I mean, I believe that life does begin at conception, but I also believe that abortion is a very traumatic issue, and it's very easy to be like Randall Terry and just blanket all abortion is evil, abortionists are evil, they should be executed, and just like hate the women who are going to abortion, things like that. I do believe that abortion, the wide range of abortion, which is elective abortion, where there's nothing wrong with the mother, there's no life-damaging illness, there is no birth defect that might kill the child. I mean, I could not imagine being a mother and being told that your baby has a rare genetic defect, that he'll be born and suffer agonizing pain and then die within a couple weeks. Now, I believe that I don't know, I hope and I believe, I don't know what I would do in that situation. And I believe that if someone wants to, carry that baby to term and live that is their right, that is their choice. But I do believe that if a person really doesn't want to go through that pain, they shouldn't have to. But that's also a very, very small fraction of abortions. Rape and incest. If a woman is raped, if like a teenager is raped and she conceives, if she should have love and support from her family and friends, but she shouldn't be pressured into having that child if she doesn't want to. It's kind of like pain and agony. I mean, give her support and say, I mean, it would be good if you could, but don't pressure. And it's her decision. It's her decision in that case. Because otherwise, I mean, that can be a lot of agonizing and pain. But I do believe that. I do believe on that you shouldn't legislate. But the mass amount of abortions are basically because people can't afford another child. And abortion is a form of birth control, abortion on demand. And I really believe that is immoral. And I want to, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically quotes of abortionists, of feminists, of politicians, talking about abortion and talking about their quotes. Now this first batch is quotes by abortionists. I found these on Wiki, wikiquote.org. This is by Judith Arcana, abortion activist at a London seminar in October 1999. I performed abortions, I have had an abortion, and I'm in favor of women having abortions when they choose to do so. But we should never disregard the fact that being pregnant means there's a baby growing inside of a woman, a baby whose life is ended. We ought not to pretend that this is not happening. And, I mean, it is. It is a life. It is a life. And, I mean, the question is, whose life is more important? And that is a very, very sad way of society. It's kind of like ancient times where people couldn't afford their children and would basically leave their children to be exposed. I know that the fetus is, this is by Leroy Carhart, testifying under oath in 1997 about what he does to facilitate abortion. I know that the fetus is alive during the process most of the time because I can see fetal heartbeat on the ultrasound. I think brain death would occur because the suctioning to remove contents is only 2 or 3 seconds. So somewhere in that period of time, obviously not when you penetrate the skull, because people get shot in the head and they don't die immediately from that. They're going to die at all, so they probably is not sufficient to kill the fetus. But I think removing the brain contents eventually will. My intent in every abortion I've ever done is to kill the fetus and terminate the pregnancy. I mean, it's very shocking to hear and read those words. This is by Robert Christ, abortion doctor, St. Petersburg Times, June 3rd, 1990. The few doctors willing to replace those who are retiring are mostly physicians who have had difficulty establishing regular OBGYN practices. Out of one abortion practitioner's first 6 months of work, there were 9 malpractice suits. After it was apparent the guy was a klutz, they kept using him and trying to cover for him because they couldn't find another provider. I mean, not a lot of people want to do abortions. And why do you think that is? I mean, they know deep down that this is not the right thing to do. And like I said, I mean, in like very extreme cases, life of the mother, rape, incest, but it's sickening. Another by Robert Christ. In testimony Wednesday in St. Louis Circuit Court, Christ said that it's not uncommon for second trimester fetuses to leave the womb feet first, intact, and with their heart still beating. He sometimes crushes the skulls to get the fetus out. Other times he dismembers them. This is Sally Faith Dorman, paraphrasing Obstetrics and Genealogy News. Sonography in connection with induced abortion may have psychological hazards. Seeing a blown-up moving image of the embryo she is carrying can be distressing to a woman who is about to undergo an abortion. Dr. Sally Faith Dorman noted she stressed that the screen should be turned away from the patient. I'm sorry. If you have other surgery or I mean, you don't turn the screen away from the patient. I mean, this is only because you don't want to look at the life you are ending. And like I said, I know in some cases it's very heartbreaking. It's kind of, what is the greater good here? But it's just, that says something. When you have to turn away, the picture's just, I mean, I can't say anything more about that. Ron Fitzsimmons, Executive Director of the National Coalition of Abortion Providers. One of the facts of abortion is that women enter abortion clinics to kill their fetuses. It's a form of killing, you're ending a life. Dr. Bertram Weiner, abortionist. My whole professional training was to prolong life, to nurture and protect it. Abortion is clearly at odds with that ethos. Yet I never refused to perform an abortion because of any personal conflict. I mean, there are a lot of people in pro-life who hate abortionists, think they're evil. I think they're misguided and tragic figures. They believe in this right to choice that they sacrifice their souls. I am going to continue this in a post too. God bless.